What's going on, YouTube? It's ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and this is Game 3 of Okan. Now, to be honest with you guys, I just finished Game 2. I just explained Game 2, and I started putting it up, and it's probably still uploading at this moment. If not, it is already uploaded. No, it's still processing. Got about like 3 more minutes. It'll be up soon. But, as I'm uploading it, the freaking weather outside, it just started freaking raining like crazy, and there's just no way in hell I'm going home right now. I bike everywhere in the city of Chicago. You don't really necessarily have to drive in Chicago because there's a good transit system, but Jesus freaking Christ, is it raining right now, so I'm not. And I decided I'll just make this battle report instead and kill some time. Let the weather die down a little bit. Anyways, so Game 3, I got a game against Fergus, and Fergus is a good buddy of mine. He's actually from Chicago. He's a Chicago native, and you know, he came all the way out here, and Game 1 he played against my brother, and on the way to Okan, my brother and I were looking at the list, and we were talking about the list, and I even told my brother how to deal with Fergus's list. And way before this, way before this, Fergus and I were my brother and I were talking about how to deal with Bloodthirster list, because the Bloodthirster list, as you guys may know or may not know, is really popular at the moment, because there's been a couple of GTs where a certain person, Mr. Jeremy Gottschalk, has taken this specific army, to be honest, and won some GTs with it. So the Bloodthirster list is a very popular list at the moment, and it's a very hard list to deal with because of the Bloodthirster himself. So you know, I've gone over so many different scenarios about how to deal with the Bloodthirster list, and my brother always laughs at me and says, "Man, you're always preparing for this Bloodthirster list, you know, and you never really play any Bloodthirsters." Well, guess what? Right now is the game that I'm playing against that damn Bloodthirster, and I'm like, all right, I've been prepping up for this. I'm gonna do it. Let's see how it goes. Anyways, so let's go over his side of the list really quick, and I didn't bring my pictures in from my side, but you could pretty much figure it out. If you haven't seen episodes 1 and 2 of Okan, you'll see my list on those, but besides that, you just kind of figure it out right here. Anyways, so for my opponent Fergus, he has 2 blood cannons. These guys, or blood chariots, or whatever they're called, but they're freaking flaming cannons, strength 10, multiple wounds. Those things are nasty. And right next to them, he has a unit of Crushers cavalry. So there's like 4 Crushers. They have the Ether icon, so they're going to be able to nullify some magic spells. And then right there is the big boy himself, the Bloodthirster. His name is Billy the Bloodthirster. He has 2 units of ambushing dogs, the Hellhounds. Then he has a unit of 10 Slaughterers here. And then he has another giant block of 28-ish Slaughterers, maybe more. And they have a BSB in this unit, and the BSB also has some the Crown of Scorn, or whatever it's considered for the demons. For magic, I got Flaming Swords, I got Pyroclastic Flow, I got Enveloping Embers, and Scorching Salvo. So we had the Encircle scenario, so we got Attacker Defender, and Fergus goes ahead and he drops his whole army first, as he should. He is a demon player. He has very little drops compared to me, so I have a lot more drops where I can out deploy him. And I believe I started to like he picked the side, so he picked the big center, so I picked where he could deploy first, and of course he's going to deploy everything first. So once I saw where his cannons went, I hid everybody I have right behind the hill, so that way he cannot shoot basically any of my stuff behind the hill. And what I ended up doing is, I knew he had his ambushers popping up on the table, so I put both my bolt throwers super far on the other side, because I'm just like, you know what, I don't want him overrunning into any of my units. Those bolt throwers are only 90 points. I'll gladly give them up and keep the dogs on that side of the table for a couple turns. And and then what I did have exposed, the one issue with this table setup is that damn rock in the middle. That damn rock in the middle is kind of annoying, but I do have my Black Orcs like front and center, basically facing off against his Slaughterers. I have all my archers ready to, once he moves up and marches up, I'm just going to shoot everything into his freaking Slaughterers. So that's basically how I'm going to play this. I mean, I'm really thinking like, how do I handle a Bloodthirster list, you know? He did hide his Bloodthirster behind the hill for turn 1 for whatever reasons, in case I stole his turn 1. I don't know why he hit him behind the hill, to be honest. But it really doesn't matter because I'm not going to shoot him turn 1 because it's not it's his turn first. So it's going to go start off turn 1 Demon Legions. Turn 1 Demon Legions, as you can see, this is kind of how he deployed. We're playing Secure the Target. You can see there's 2 points of in the center. I believe I put mine in the center. He put his on the left, and then or vice versa, whatever. This is one of those ways. But he took a picture. He was like, James, you gotta look at your army from my side. So he took a picture of me. He took a picture of my army with my own camera, and this picture snuck in here. But this is basically how it looks. As you can see, after he moved Billy behind the building on that side, trying to hide from the skewers. And again, like I said, I'm kind of assuming that those skewers are already dead, so I'm not too worried about it. But if he wants to charge into my goblins, any of the goblins, I'm going to be steadfast for a long time. He's going to kill a shit ton of goblins every round, but I'm going to be steadfast until he moves closer. He might take a fanatic to the face, who knows, right? But basically that's how we're working. So basically, yeah, I'm going to have to skip a couple pictures here. This shows turn 1 again. This shows my side even closer. And then over here, this is how he moved. He moved up his crushers. He moved up his slaughterers. He has a triple march banner, but he didn't use it on his slaughterers, and he thinks that was a mistake. I don't think it really mattered, to be honest. But he's moving up like so, and he just pivots his cannons to shoot Koopa. And then, yeah. Shooting phase, because he has no magic. He shoots the first cannon into Koopa. He misses. I put Koopa up there on purpose because Koopa has the dragon helm, so he'll have a 2-up ward against his flaming shot. I was kind of hoping that it would misfire one of the cannons, but guess what? The second shot shoots and it misfires, and it totally worked. It totally worked. He misfired, and I was like, haha! It gives me 1 turn to run everybody from behind the hill out, and he only has 1 shot with a cannon. So I'm going to do that. It's going to go and start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Everybody's moving up out of the freaking building, or out of the hill. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to play the left side. I'm like, Billy's on the right side. I'm going to avoid the right side. And that's how it goes. I have I have my dragon rammer on the hill ready for a downhill charge. I put Crom up just in case he charges into Koopa. Koopa will get +1 to wound. And then I have the Fluffy ready to ram in case Koopa, for whatever reason, doesn't make it. I kind of keep my guys all centered because at the same time I don't have to move up. I have range right now, 24-inch range, to shoot the hell out of his slaughterers, and I will. Magic phase, I got 7 power dice, and I'm like, here it goes, boom! Enveloping Embers. Nobody ever expects Enveloping Embers that fast. It's like my foot of Gork to me, right? So I do Enveloping Embers, and even though he has 28 guys in a BSB, I only did 2 wounds that went through. He has a better ward save because he's Khorne, and he has armor, and he freaking just only took 2 wounds. I was like, holy crap, that usually does a lot more. My other spells didn't do shit. And yeah, so we're just gonna go to shooting phase. Shooting phase. This skewer surprised the hell out of me. Shot one of his juggernauts and picked off one of his juggernauts turn 1. I'm like, wow, that never happens ever. Oh man, these 37 shots are gonna go right into those slaughterers because, like I said, I gotta pick off some slaughterers. I end up killing off 2 more. Okay, these goblins are gonna shoot at the slaughterers. I end up picking off 5 more. Holy shit, those get through. Holy shit, those guys were hot. And then these goblins are going to shoot, and they end up picking off 2 more. You should have seen his face after that. It just happened, because you got to figure 2 from magic, 2 from the other goblins, 5 from the cave goblins, and then 2 more. So I killed he had, well, this is easier, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 guys left out of 29. I killed 15 guys. He was just like, holy shit. And even if he triple marched, it was still going to be those same 15 guys dead. So he was just like, wow. He goes, you really just picked me apart. And I go, yeah. So it's going to start off his turn. Fergus, Billy. Or let's see, Billy Demons. Demon Bills? I don't know. Demons of Khorne. Anyways, Fergus, turn 2. So I couldn't figure it out. So he decides he's going to charge this 10-man block into Koopa, and Koopa was there on purpose for this. I even contemplated fleeing with Koopa just so he could fail the charge, but I was like, nah, there's no point. Koopa doesn't care. Koopa handle these 10 guys no problem. So he charges in, gets in. Okay. He sees that I kind of avoided the right side, so he decides to start moving Billy back over to the left side, and his chariot misfired. He thought about moving it, but he didn't. His juggernauts, I don't know if they move up or not, but what he does with his slaughters really cracks me up. He reforms and moves back. I'm like, why? Oh my god. These guys ambush up. Both of them ambush up, and they're ready to kill my freaking skewers. And then this is how it looks on this side. Shooting phase. I think shooting phase he just missed. I think he tried to shoot the dragon rammer and missed. Or he tried to shoot the big guy and he just made it worse because he moved. I don't remember. Anyways, close combat over here. Close combat, he goes ahead and he gets 2 lethal strikes off, and then he even gets a couple wounds off. And I think I actually ward saved the lethal strikes, and I failed the ones that he actually wounded me on. So he got 2 wounds off on Koopa. I'm like, son of a bitch, Koopa. Well, Koopa goes back and boom, kills 3 guys. So he has a charge and 2 wounds, and I got 3 wounds. It's a push. We're not going anywhere, and it's going to go ahead and start off turn 2. Orcs and Goblins. And I thought about this long and hard, guys. I really did think about this long and hard. I'm like, do I want to help Koopa out, or do I want to just bum rush his cannons and stuff? And I'm like, you know what? I really did that like big sigh, and I'm like, I gotta rescue Koopa. This is the 2nd game in a row he did the same tactic and the same thing happened. So I gotta rescue Koopa. I'm charging in the Fluffster. I'm charging in the Idol. The Idol has to go in and help Koopa out because I'm just hoping these impact hits just can pop the unit before Koopa goes. And as you can see, I moved the Black Orcs up because now he's in a defensive mode. Now he is just worried about getting pummeled by my bow shots, and as you can see, his unit's pretty much depleted. The other unit's about to pop really quick. One mistake I made here was I forgot to move the Dragon Rammer. The Dragon Rammer stays in the spot it's in, but for the most part, everybody else is kind of cool where they're at. Magic Phase, I got 9 power dice, and I go ahead and I do an Enveloping Embers, and this time he's like, you know what, screw that, I'm stopping it with the freaking scroll. So he scrolls it. I try to do Ruby Ring, I fail it. I try to do a Pyroclastic Flow, I fail it, and I do a freaking Scorching Salvo, and he stops me on the dice, and this is the asshole who had the scroll. Shooting phase, these guys all shoot at his freaking at his slaughterer still, and I kill off 1 more slaughterer. These guys all shoot at his freaking juggernauts because the slaughterers are kind of hiding behind a rock now to these guys. So these guys shoot the juggernauts, they end up doing 1 wound, and then over here impact hits. Woo! I got a lucky impact hit roll. I got a total of 6 from the Fluffster, and I got 3 more from freaking the Idol, and it just pops the unit. Gone. I overrun with Fluffster a bit. I reformed Koopa, and I reformed the Idol, and we're all just staring that way at that cannon. And I'm just gonna put pressure up on this side, and that's how it's gonna go. And it's gonna start off his turn. Demons turn 3. Billy and the Demons turn 3. So he goes ahead and he charges in. Of course he's going to charge this one here. He's going to charge this one here. We knew that was going to happen. Oh well. You know, I mean, there's not much I could do. The Hellhounds were going to pop. And again, as long as they're on the other side of the table. Over here, this is really interesting. He thought about this. He's like, I'm not that far. If I charge into the chariot, I'm going to overrun into Koopa. I might kill Koopa, or overrun into the Idol. The way the Idol is standing, he won't be able to see me. So he's like thinking about this, like long, deep thought, and he charges into my wolf chariot, which got really close over there, and I'm like, flee. I flee right through Koopa. I pop out this side. Koopa doesn't care. Koopa doesn't fail his panic check, and he's just like, are you serious? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm serious. Man, I fled. I don't care if I lose the dog right now or the chariot. I go, because you didn't waste your shooting on anybody on that side. So good for you, damn dog. You made him stop shooting for one turn, and he's gonna fail his charge. He tries to redirect into, I think, the idol, and he fails. I don't remember who he tried to redirect into. This guy decides he is gonna shoot, and he's gonna shoot right at the idol. Boom! Knocks up 4 fucking wounds. That thing is sick. Those things suck balls, man. I hate freaking cannons. I hate cannons. Jesus Christ. Alright. Over here, close combat, he eats both of these, and he's just going to overrun. He gets good overruns. He gets really close to my goblins, and I'm just like, shit, I'm going to have to deal with these guys now. And, yeah, it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3, I'm like, well, he moved closer. My freaking idol's going for it. I see Billy behind him. But, you know, to be honest, I need to take care of this chariot. And if I could get in the right position, I might be able to get... No, I really can't. I was going to say, I might be able to get out of charge range of Billy, but I really can't. Billy's going to get me. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's worth a trade. The idol is 380 points. That chariot's 330, but that chariot could do a shit ton of damage. So if I could take out the chariot, I'm gonna. So I charge the idol in alone. I don't charge Koopa in because I don't want Koopa on this side. Koopa has another job. So here you go. The idol gets in. Beautiful. Alright, maybe I could fuck this thing up. We'll see. The Dragon Rammer, I move it up a little bit because now we're worried about countercharging for when. I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking that Billy's going to come over on towards the idol and I could countercharge with the Dragon Rammer and my Orcs. I move Koopa all the way around the hill, going towards the dogs now because the dogs are becoming an issue. I leave the one unit of goblins like staying straight ahead and just trying to deal with, or I might have moved them up to shoot a little bit so I could build room to reform the other goblins to face at the dogs and shoot at the dogs. The problem with the dogs right now though is that they're inside the forest. So he's getting cover bonuses for the forest. So that kind of sucks. And at the moment, the way I'm spread out, at the moment, everybody's within 12 inches of Juggertooth and my BSB. So my BSB has good coverage, my general has good coverage. I'll be steadfast against some dogs. I mean, they're not just dogs, these are hellhounds. These are fucking strength 5 T4 hellhounds. So they're pain in the asses. That's what they are. Anyways, so this is how it looks on this side. Magic Phase, I got 11 power dice. I go ahead and I do a boosted Scorching Salvo, hoping to kill some dogs. It doesn't do shit. It doesn't do a goddamn wound. Every single roll I did was like 1, 1, 1, 1, and it just sucked. I go ahead and I do an Enveloping Embers. It goes off, and I end up killing off 3 of these guys, and I'm still picking at this unit. I just don't want this unit here, to be honest. Over here, all these guys are going to shoot at that same unit. They're going to kill off 1 more guy. All these guys are going to shoot at that same unit, and they kill off an additional 2 guys. And then close combat, impact hits. Boom! Does 2 wounds on impact. Oh my god. Crom, I am sorry if I ever talk shit about the Idol of Gork. This thing is beautiful. I love it. It did 2 wounds to the damn chariot. Chariot goes back, cannot wound Crom at all. He goes ahead and rolls. Even though he's by his general and BSB, he rolls, and he rolls a super high number. It gets like a 12. He rolls it again, he does it again, and boom! The freaking chariot pops. It pops. What I should have done here was overrun. I should have overrun just to move up further and keep Billy away even farther. But I already know and I accept the fact that Crom is about to die to Billy. Alright. Over here, close combat. Over here it's starting off his turn. Billy and the Demons, turn 4. Billy and the Demons, turn 4. He's charging his Hellhounds into... He thought about this one long and hard. He was thinking, how can he get in? He goes, can you throw out Fanatics to the side? I said, yeah. And I think the truth is, I think he just didn't want to deal with 4 Fanatics, and he felt like he probably should just deal with 2 Fanatics. And if he didn't, he would be able to, if I fled, he would be able to redirect into my other goblins, and those goblins will be in trouble. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to sit here, I'm going to stand and shoot, and I'm going to throw out my Fanatics, which I do. Fanatics, only 1 lives inside the woods. The other one dies. The tornado goes through and actually kills one of the guys. One of the dogs doesn't do enough for any real damage, though. I was hoping it did a lot more. It didn't. They both get in. Oh, this is nasty. This is really nasty. Both units of dogs are just going to rip apart that unit, right? Billy comes in, and like I said, we already knew Billy was going to come on in. So he's in, and the Slaughterers just kind of back up Billy. He does something really interesting here, and this is, again, props to Fergus for thinking this far ahead. He left, you'll see it when close combat's over, actually. You'll see it. But anyways, he charges the Chariot here, he charges the Juggernauts here. I think he did the charges out of order, but it didn't matter. He's charging the Chariot into my Goblins here, and now I thought, maybe I should throw the Fanatics behind me and get into the Dogs. Because technically they would have landed before the Dogs got there, but again, it's like hindsight, and I'm like, you know what, let me try to kill the Chariot because I hate these damn Chariots. So I throw the frickin' Fanatic out, it gets in front of the Chariot, the other one goes in front of the Juggernauts. He fails the charge with the Juggernauts anyways. The Chariot gets in, has to take the damage from the thing, and I roll a pathetic number. I roll only like 4 on 2 dice, and then I only did 1 wound, and that's it. It was just 1 wound. He only took 1. He gets in. Again, like I said, I'm going to be steadfast, but it's going to be brutal. And, yeah, we're going to go to close combat. And as you can see, there's just no Goblins left. He just ripped them apart. I am steadfast. I don't even think I did any wounds to the damn fucking things, because I'm weapon skill 2 to their weapon skill 5, and their T4. I wasn't doing shit. And he wins combat, but I'm going to stick for a turn. And he wins combat up there. Like I said, Billy destroys Crom. He destroys him. I mean, not really. He got a couple wounds off because I am T8. But he turns in this way where I don't flank him. I get it that I don't flank him. Or did he overrun? I don't remember if he overran. No, he did overrun. He did overrun. I have no idea why he overrun. But, yeah. You'll see in a second. We'll get to this next picture. Over here, the Chariot goes, kills a bunch of these guys. These guys stick in steadfast again. And, yeah, like I said, he overran. Now he's facing the Dragon Rammer. Now I honestly could charge into Billy. I could charge with the Dragon Rammer downhill charge. I could charge with all the guys. The problem is, no matter what happens, I challenge. I'll have him on a flank, a big flank, banner, ranks, and let's see. Charge, downhill, flank, big flank, 2 ranks, banner. So I have 3, 6, 7 combat res. He's going to challenge. He'll kill my guy. 4 wounds. He'll be down 3. If he gets a lucky roll, I won't do any damage to him whatsoever, and he's going to flank me with his demons. That's what it really came down to. That is honestly what it really, really came down to, was the fact that if I charged in and I don't pop his general, and his BSB's close enough where he could reroll it, I am going to be stuck and get flanked by, even though it's like 10 Slaughterers left, I'm still going to get flanked by 10 Slaughterers, and it's going to kill me. It's going to rip apart my army. So I decided, you know what? Let's charge in to the Slaughterers. I'm going to call out the Wog. It's a long charge. I think like I need a 10, but if I call out the Wog, I'll need 9 on Swift Stride. And I get in. Boom! He did not see it coming. He thought I was totally going for Billy. He was so certain I was going to go for Billy. And I was like, fuck that. I am not going to deal with Billy. There's just no way in hell I can. You know what I mean? I've actually done this fight numerous times on Universal Battle, and Zod or Juggertooth will live like a couple rounds of combat, even through the Thunderstomps. But in the long run, that is a very bad matchup for me. And in all honesty, this is the smarter play, and I'm going to do it. So I go ahead and I use the extra movement since I called out the Wog. I move Koopa over. I move the freaking Boar Chariot out of the way. And as you can see, Billy's just staring at the wrong way. He's staring behind everybody. And I like it that way. Leave them over there. Fuck those guys. So yeah. Magic phase. I got 7 power dice. I go ahead and I do. I don't know why I took Baxter out of the unit. Oh, in case he overruns with his dogs. Anyways, I go ahead and I do a ruby ring and I do a wound onto these guys, and that's all that really happened. I don't think I got any other spells off that really did anything. So close combat over here. He challenges with his champ. Oh my god, did this one piss me off. This one really pissed me off. He challenges with his champ, right? He goes ahead and he does 2 swings, and he gets 2 wounds on 4s. And I'm like, aha, I got the Bluffer's Helm. You got to re-roll your wounds. Well, he re-rolls the wounds, and he gets 2 lethal strikes. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. So Zod takes, or Juggertooth takes 2 wounds. My Black Orcs go, and they just, or I'm sorry, he goes first, and he rips out my back row. He kills 11 guys. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. He killed 11 guys and did 2 wounds. So he's at 13 combat res. I'm like, wow. I go back and I kill every single one of his slaughterers. Every single one. But he only had 9 left. Alright? So I actually lose combat, even though I got a charge, a downhill charge, a banner, and a rank, and then 9 wounds. So that's 4. I did 13. He did 13 wounds, but he has a BSB left. He wins combat. I stick 'cause I'm stubborn, and I reform like so. And not only do I stick that I'm stubborn, I actually use his own dice, his WCW dice, against him to make every single leadership roll, and every single time. Because you know the joke is that WCW dice suck, that they roll low numbers, and Len said that it's cheating using WCW dice, but I did it anyways. And I stuck. I'm gonna reform into ranks, and for the record, they're not cheating. They freaking rolled double 6s on me when I don't need them to. But yeah, I honestly used the WCW dice for every freaking leadership roll I needed, and they work about 80% of the time. Anyways, over here, close combat. He just, again, he's going to rip apart more of my goblins. I'm still steadfast. I'm not going anywhere. My general is still technically 12 inches away. And it's going to start off his turn. Billy and the Demons turn 5. Billy and the Demons turn 5. He's going to go ahead and charge. His Hellhounds ripped apart my unit. So I was actually prepared if he charged the Hellhounds into my giant goblin horde. I was totally okay with that. He decided to charge Koopa. I'm like, that's even better. Koopa's made to kill shit like this, alright? So Koopa's like, fine. He charges it to the rear of my other goblins, which I didn't expect. That's going to happen. He gets in. He's going to destroy my unit there. He moves Billy up on the hill so he can get nice combat res. Charge, downhill charge, probably a flank, whatever, rear, whatever. As you can see, my goblins were running from the other combat, and he gets into Koopa, gets in like that. That's how it looks. Close combat over here. I end up doing 1 wound onto the chariot. I do 1 wound onto the dogs, but they're going to go... And, I do 2 wounds onto the chariot. 2. Holy crap. But those dice that are on the tray, that's how many goblins he killed already. So he killed already 9, 10, 11 goblins. 11. I just didn't even want to pull the bodies off. I was like, just tell me what the number is. And he's going to pop my unit. They're gone. I run away from the dogs, who are actually a rank. And I run past all the shit up there. His chariot chase, his dogs do not, I don't believe the dogs chase. But he ends up running that way towards where my Black Orcs are. My Black Orcs over here, he challenges, and I decline. I'm like, well, I'll still be steadfast on an 8, right? I decline, and I'm just like, everybody's going great weapons. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, all right, he's going to swing at Zod. He just needs to do 1 wound to Zod. He fails to wound me. I do maybe 1 wound or 2. I don't remember if I do 1 or 2. I did 2 wounds. And he rolls to see what happens, and he rolls Snake Eyes. So he doesn't pop. He stays there, even though I have 3 ranks, banner, and 2 wounds. 3 ranks, banner, 2 wounds. I'm at 7 combat res. Yeah, he sticks because his general's right there, and he rolls Snake Eyes. Lucky fucker, right? That was actually a lucky move right there. Anyways, over here, close combat. Koopa ends up killing one of the dogs. He sticks. Nothing really happens. And it's going to go ahead and start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. As you can see, there's Little Fergus and Little Fergus's friend. I don't even know who that kid is. Anyways, I decided to put Baxter back in the unit of Goblins. And I decided to turn the Goblins around to face his demon, Billy. I charged the Dragon Rammer into the dogs, hoping that I would just hold them up. I am T5. I'll have some charge, impact hits. I may do, maybe I might kill 2 or 3 dogs. Who knows, you know? But that's what I'm hoping. Hindsight's 2020. What I should have done, and this, just gonna say it right now, what I should have done was just move the Dragon Rammer to chaff them. That's all I needed to do, was just chaff them. But But I'm figuring, you know what, now's the time to just focus on Billy. Magic Phase, I got 7 power dice. I go ahead and I do Flaming Swords on these guys. I'm going to try to get some wounds off on Billy. I'm going to go ahead and do Fireball. He stops it. So, Scorching Salvo didn't do any wounds. Nothing did wounds. That's the problem. Nothing did wounds on Billy at all. He has a 3-up armor and like a 4 or 3-up ward against magic. So, and then shooting didn't do shit. Even though he was close range and large target, it did nothing. Over here, close combat. Koopa, you fat son of a bitch. He does 4 wounds. Now, since it's after his charge, he's only strength 4. So he does 4 wounds, strength 4. And I made all 4 armor saves with 2s. I was like, Koopa, you didn't even try. You didn't even try. He's like, I'm saving all my good wards for later. I don't need any good wards or armor. I'm going to just do it on 2s. And he did. I'm happy that he's alive, but at the same time I'm like, what a bastard. Like, dick. He ends up going back to killing off 1 dog, and again he's sticking there. Nothing really happens. Unfortunately, this has gone on one turn too long. Over up there, Dragon Rammer ends up killing off only 1 Hellhound. The Hellhounds go back and they end up killing my Dragon Rammer, and this puts me in a very shitty spot because now he could get a rear charge into my Goblins. And then over here, my Black Orcs finally killed off his last his BSB, and what I did, his Juggernauts are really far actually. But, I mean, they're not that far. They're far enough where they can make a charge. But what I did was I ended up putting my ass end towards his Juggernauts because turn 6 is coming. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to march my Black Orcs to the scenario. And that's what I really wanted to do, was just to get the scenario objective. So I moved the Black Orcs there, and they'll be able to march straight onto the objective. And hopefully I could just deal with his Juggernauts. I'm not sure. We're going to contest the objective because they both have a scoring unit close enough. Anyways, turn 6, Billy and the Demons. Here it goes. He thinks he's so smart, this guy. He charges over my Goblins into Koopa. Ah, motherfucker, man. God damn it. I was so certain he was going into my Goblins. I was like, I'm going to give him a fucking... it didn't matter. If he went in turn 6 into my Goblins, I'd give him a champ. Even if he rear charged me with the dogs, I'll be steadfast. He's going to do 10 hits, maybe. Or not even 10, 8 hits. Kill maybe 8 of them. And my general's right there. They're steadfast. My BSB's there. And Koopa will kill his dogs. But he figured if he charges into Koopa, he's going to kill Koopa. So he charges, gets over, flies over. There it is. There's the money shot. He gets into Koopa. Alright, close combat. He goes into a challenge with Koopa. I mean, if you guys don't know what a Bloodthirster does, Bloodthirster's like weapon skill 9 or 10 or some shit. Freaking hatred. So, in case it missed you, it's gonna still hit you. And then he's like strength 9, or no, he's strength 8 on the charge. Strength 8 on the charge. So he charges in. He does all his attacks. He gets 8 hits. I'm not even paying attention to Fergus at this time. I'm paying attention to like what else could go on, because I realize he didn't charge into the Black Orcs, he didn't charge into the Goblins. I'm just looking at the objective now. I'm like, oh, okay, I can get this objective now. But he charges in. I think all he did was just move on to... He started reading the points, how to get more points, and he started figuring, you know, where he could get more points at. But anyways, he charges in, he rolls the dice, and he does 8 hits. He rolls the wounds. He gets 7 wounds. Now, Koopa only has 1 wound left. So I grab the dice, and I am not kidding. I am laughing my ass off in real life. I am laughing my ass off to Fergus, and I'm like, watch this. I'm going to piss you off, and I'm going to make every ward save. And he's like, ha ha ha. I'm like, well, you're strength 8. I go, so I'll still, from a 1-up armor, I'll still have a 6-up armor. So I roll the dice, and I made 2 armor saves. And I look at the dice. I have 5 dice left, and it's the same dice. They roll like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, or, you know, whatever, right? And I'm like, oh my god, it's so going to happen. I'm calling it now, Fergus. I'm going to make all 5 ward saves. And what do? BAM! Oh my god! I made all 7 armor and ward saves. You should have seen his face. His face was so pissed. He was like, that was not supposed to happen. And as soon as it happened, he starts rolling the dice for the dogs to attack. And I was like, man, we're in a challenge. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking get more attacks from dogs. I can't do that again. He was so angry. He was so angry, and I was like, "Why are you angry? You still won the combat. You have a charge, a downhill charge, a flank, and you got me with fear." I was like, "I'm probably not gonna roll it." I rolled the WCW dice, and Koopa runs, and it didn't even matter that he ran. It was the fact that he actually lived the hit from the Bloodthirster, like a full-on hit from the Bloodthirster. I mean, look how close I was to the board edge. I just ran off the table. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that one's for the ages right there. Oh, I probably shouldn't have challenged. I probably should have just let the dog swing, and I probably would have killed the dogs. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. But it was one of those moment things. I was just like, I'm just gonna deal with it. Oh man, turn 6 Orcs and Goblins. I march onto the objective. My guys turn around. I figure the chariot only has 1 or 2 wounds left. I'm gonna try to kill the chariot. At first, I started thinking I'm gonna go ahead and kill the Juggernauts, which have a shit ton of wounds. And I'm like, so let me do magic. I do this massive fireball, kill off one of the Juggernauts, and then I do like the ruby ring, do a couple wounds. But then I realized I'm not going to get through him with shooting. I'm just not. There's just no way in hell I'm doing 6 wounds through his armor and ward save with strength 3 shots. So I decide, I look at it, and at my BSB, long shot right there. Long shot right there has a corner shot into his chariot, and I'm going to take it, and he gets off 2 poisons, and clock, clock, kills the fucking chariot. Way to go, long shot. Holy crap. This is one for the books, guys. Orcs and Goblins have triumphed over the demons. The rain is still going, and I'm not going to be able to really get home without being soaking wet, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. Guys, you're going to see the points start rolling up very soon, but let's go over what we have going on here. And I'm going to actually, at this time, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to sum up everything to see how many points everybody's at, because you're seeing the points. I'm still making the points right now, so I'm going to see that. So MVP, I honestly, I mean, I understand the Black Orcs pulled in the most points. I understand that Black Orcs took 871 points. I'll call you back in a minute because I'm almost done with my video, sir. Anyways, I understand the Black Orcs pulled in the most points. I honestly think the true MVP would be all my goblin shooting. All my goblin shooting combined destroyed his slaughterers and demoralized my opponent. It really made him think like, oh shit, I can't handle this list, which was fine. But the real MVP here is Koopa, because Koopa just fucking cracked me up with that fucking 7 ward saves. Oh man, I'm gonna give it to Bazooka and the Horde. Not even Bazooka and the Horde, the Cave Gobbles. The Cave Gobbles took 646 points. They are definitely the MVP of this round. This round. If you notice, currently the Black Orcs are in the lead. They have 2,795 points total. Crom actually has 2nd place with 2,400 points. Crom is probably going to stay at around 2nd or 3rd place. I don't really see anybody really surpassing him except for Baxter. So he might get 2nd, he might get 3rd, but Jesus Christ, that is showing you a lot of potential for the idol. Koopa's doing great. He's at a very solid 1,500. Baxter's at 1,800, which is ridiculous. And then the Cave Goblins are at 1,285. And then Bazooka and the Horde are 1,000, and the Rammers are really not doing too much. I mean, they do more points than I honestly am happy with the amount of points they earn. because I don't think he got the. I gotta fix Fluffy's points. Fluffy, oh no, he killed 147 twice. Wow, so 294. Anyways, guys, and then the bolt throwers are really a disappointment to me. The bolt throwers are only 263 points. I mean, granted, they're only 180 points a round times 3 rounds, so they are negative 250 points roughly. Anyways, 277 points. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this. I enjoy making them. I'm about to go get soaked. Guys, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. I told you guys the MVP. Guys, if you guys can, please help out. I'm going to Salamanca, Spain, but it costs me a lot of money to go from this side of the pond to that side of the pond. So if you guys can help out, go to my Patreon, go to my GoFundMe, and donate some money. And anything helps. $1 to $2 to $5 to $10, whatever you could afford. Anything really helps, and I really truly appreciate it, because it'll help me get out there and give you guys more content. Besides that, guys, I'm going to start doing Patreon contests to give away either a painted banner or some painted models, some painted minis. But to get involved in that, I haven't made up all the rules yet, but to get involved in that, you would have to join Patreon, and it will be randomized through my Patreon providers. The more you donate to Patreon, the higher chances you have, because your name will be entered in the hat more than once, and we'll see how that goes. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm going to get on the road, and I got to call my brother back. Guys, I hope you enjoy, and looking forward to giving you round 4 and round 5 against Dread Elves and Vampires. Guys, I'll see you there, and take care. Until next time, peace.